Good morning. My name is Vita Sadanandan, and today is the 8th of April, 2026, and the time is 6:39 a.m. Genitals is the area of body that will be maintaining health today by the Nirbeeja Yoga style. And the area of genitals is the fourth area, I think. 1 minute. Yeah. No. We have, so this is the third area. Tomorrow, anus. That will be the fourth area of the pelvic area that will be maintaining health. All right. And Nirbeeja Yoga is a movementless method of yoga. Now, morning, as the sun is just rising, and people are in different stages of getting their day started, and the different antics, their different coping mechanism to maintain being healthy, to go beyond challenges. Different people are in different kinds of activities in improving the quality of life, in moving forward or moving up to a better place, what they think is a better place. If we haven't had a discernment, then we are doing stuff which could need some improvement. Having said that, some people are even trying to fly off to Mars. Yeah, because Mars may be a better place. I don't know. We haven't seen signs of life in Mars in some time. But the area of the genitals helps us pay attention. Maintaining the area of genitals helps us pay attention to the health of our creativity or procreation. So, what are we professionally going about creating from just having a body that's human? So, the genitals and the reproductive organs are not just for producing babies. Well, they have also other duties. For example, kidneys is not just for urination, producing urine. The urine is a consequence of kidneys reuptaking minerals, for example, nutrients that's there in the liquid, which then can be again utilized for the body. And then what needs to then be let out regularly so that there is a continuous filtration process. There is substance let out, which is necessary for maintaining health, for maintaining the cycles of creativity. A body is basically a creation unit. So genitals represent a department, so to speak, for also helping remember one of the dhatus at least. 7 dhatus, shukra, or procreation, or quality of creation also. Now, Mr. Nikola Tesla spoke about sexual alchemy. But if we consider a genital organs also to be like kidneys, where there is a conservation, so that what is then let out is also the essence. So that it's just so there's this text I read in primary school, I think, primary school, high school, just lather, nothing else. It's a story of a barber who set up this shop, and where he got to know that a dictator who has killed many people, including his own people, was coming for a shave, and people were saying this is his opportunity to get him out of the killing activity, so that he can then save a lot of people. So he comes there, and this barber ultimately ends up just giving him a clean shave, just lather, nothing else, no blood, no nothing, anything else. And this dictator knew that he could lose his life. But what he says towards the end of the story is, we all have our own jobs. You did yours, I'm doing mine. Yeah. According to that time or what in the whole maintenance of stuff. Just lather, nothing else. That was a job, Baba's job. So, um, and then each according to our own actions have the benefit of what we can do. So that dictator, that was what he had to go through. And then how he does what he does, why he does, is how he then goes beyond his karmic cycles, his um, role in the whole scheme of things gets better than about killing people. So it's about how you do what you do, or how you then bring about harmony with whatever activity you're doing, how you then enable health, wealth, wisdom, or can you make things better other than by cutting? Yeah. So Nirbeeja Yoga comes from a method of healthcare which goes beyond using instruments, um, chanting, visualization, or using incense or candles, beads, any of that stuff. So it's a biodynamic method of healthcare, but it is more specific to a person where um, enabling a person growing up into their own kind of tree, considering that each person is a seed of life, and what enables a person to grow into their own tree in the forest of life. So my approach is from the bottoms up, from the ground up. So seeds grow from ground. We are all on earth. So I'm kind of like under the ground. No, I'm working from the ground zero up. So, and our sense of identities is from how much or who we think we become or what's the stage of development we are in, while we are basically seeds of life and functioning from wheresoever we came. If we stop being seeds of life, then we get into different states of what I call as cookie-tude. I am this, I've become this. And you are not seed of life. You are not having that. Basically, you're a seed of life. If you're not having a connection with that, and that within, if you break a seed open, you find nothing, and nothing is where the forest is, said Buddha. And my work is to improve nothing for the better. So if we don't regard ourselves at least to be a seed, we stand less chance of improving nothing, or the content in nothing, such that the forest becomes a garden of life. So forest has many kinds of creatures, but humanity, when it's maintained between creatures, then there is a garden, Eden, where everybody's going about their own activities, and there's a natural ecological balance. So that balance, when it goes off, say when technology becomes more important than anything else, then a fine ecological balance goes off. And that's when things go not so fine. You've had the Big Bang, we've had mass extinction events, several details talking about when things didn't go so well, civilizations changed, history is talking about how changes have come about. So what maintains that balance such that what is good continues to become better? That's also meristome intelligence. Now, where a seed, when it's growing, it puts out a shoot and a root, which means phototropic towards light and also gravitropic towards being rooted. So you say heaven and hell, you need a balance between the two. If phototropic towards light is more important than gravitropic being rooted, then the tree won't sustain for long because there is no support from underneath. And if you're all root and no shoot, um, you don't grow to flowering, fruiting. You need those two. If you're only storing your content in the roots and not really growing up to be flowers, fruits, then you are not really showing up to your full potential. Yeah, because something is more important than the other. So to bring a balanced equation between positive and negative. Now, which is positive, which is negative, depends on the direction. If you say this side is positive, then the other side, the opposite is negative. Yeah. Now, So our perspectives about what is where, and our relationship with positive and negative also limits us. Genitals. Now, genitals include the external genitals and the reproductive organs. Internals, external, internal, and which includes the reproductive organs. Now, males or females. Now, I invite you to bring your attention to the region. No, I invite you to take a seat on a chair, on a teacher's chair, where there's an armrest. No, the chair is of a height where you can place your feet flat on the ground and comfortably. You're not going to strain your feet to place your feet on the ground. And you can sit deep in your chair while your feet can be placed flat on the ground. And then the chair has an armrest. So you can place your elbow at a comfortable angle. And the chair is straight backed enough that you can lean back on it, which means the chair has a back, and allows you to sit upright without being too stiff. So it doesn't mean the back has a curve, but that it allows for you to sit in such a manner that your posture can be comfortable, allows for your feet to be at a shoulder width distance, and your knees also to be at a 90-degree angle at shoulder width distance. And in this posture, it becomes easy for your anatomical structure to be aligned, but at the same time, for you to be able to take the support of the chair you're sitting on naturally. When your posture is relaxed enough, you can take the support of what there is in the moment. So your choice of chair matters. And in this posture, notice if you can pay attention to your head, if your head feels relaxed, comfortably placed, seated on your neck, where your neck can move because your muscles are relaxed enough, because your bony framework is relaxed enough. So when your feet are wide, according to the width of your shoulders, there's a certain natural alignment in the seated posture that becomes possible. Now, if you're going to say, cross your ankles like in this lady style, where you are getting your knees together in a ladylike posture, that has its own benefits, but it's not necessarily anatomically comfortable. It has its own benefits and in different occasions. But, well, that may not necessarily have you be a matriarch, or to have your say in the whole scheme of things. Now, several fine details. But when you can be comfortable in the robes of your own body, emperor's robes of your own body, because you didn't just form overnight. Your body didn't just form overnight. So when you can be comfortable in the clothing, the dress that's your body, you have a life because you have a body that's human. And however it is, when you can be comfortable in your own body and can take a posture, take a seat where you can be who you are, then the world has benefit of you being in existence. Nobody else can do. Because what you bring into existence, nobody else can do, which is why you are in existence. Otherwise, somebody else would be. And then you have your heartbeat, you have your respiratory rhythms, you have your shoulder, your head, neck composition, the way you are. Yeah. And if you're being uncomfortable with that, the world does not have the benefit of you being in existence. And you are not doing a service to yourself too. You're busy trying to be somebody else or appease somebody else when you have a job to do. A hammer has a hammer's job to do. A nail has a nail's job to do. And then there is what kind of a person you are, what kind of work you are doing. To get to a better place, how you do what you do, such that you are becoming better, people around you are becoming better, future generations are becoming better, their future generations are also becoming better from just having a body that's human, which is a new stage of evolution, development, where you are not having to resort to violence or disturbing somebody else's ways of being, but growing in such a way that, like the seed moves through the soil, the seed moved through the soil such that it is growing, structures around it makes way for the seed to grow, and in a manner that is complementary without you taking into their space or they taking into your space, and growing in such a way that you're actually growing towards light as well as the depth. Your shoot and root are growing, and without stepping on somebody else's toes, shoes, or getting into somebody else's shoes or toes. Yeah, that takes a little bit of work. That takes awareness, mindfulness, present moment appreciation. Otherwise, you're functioning by preconceived notions. So a lot of langanams, in the sense, going beyond your preconceived notions, or going beyond how things have been, how life has been lived thus far. Because we may have been in competition, comparison, taking from others, causing an imbalance, credit, debit, I win, you lose, or you win, I lose, or those kinds of things. Win, lose, not working. Somebody's not having something, somebody's. So this is a different way of growing, where you live and let live also becomes possible. And then you live and let live in such a way that your family tree and their family trees are also doing better. That takes a Garden of Eden, where you're in the business of normal, ordinary, harmonious living. You're already a garden, working through the forest, such that the forest also becomes all garden. And there's a harmonious, everything has its own place in the whole scheme of things. So there's an ecological balance. Humans doing human stuff, yeah. So where our wilderness also has a humane presence, a natural ecosystem. Now, in try and pay attention to how does your body feel from what I have said thus far. Do you feel comfortable? Do you notice a certain way of being that your muscles are that may in some way be easier or lighter? Or can you feel the air on your skin? Does your breath in some way settle? Or does it make it difficult? But just having a body that's human, do you notice your ability to sit any comfortably? Is your sitting any comfort, any more comfortable than it has been? If your muscles are relaxed in some way, you are getting to a better place. You're getting to that place where your experience of being in the Garden of Eden, your normal, ordinary business. So how then do we maintain humanity across boundaries? Is also from noticing our own body's departments. There's the skin and the internal organs, each their own departments. People around you have skin and their own departments. So the difficulty may be that people may not be there, in their own body, minding their own departments. And so you're going to push and pull, fight, flight. Force begets force. They are pushing you to push, the push continues. It's not getting resolved. No force begets no force. Force begets force. No force begets no force. No change. No force, no change causes transformation. What you resist persists. No change causes transformation. So how do you know change when change is a constant in life? You don't have to be the change maker. You do no change. And change that is already there goes about doing the change things. because you are doing your job, going about doing your activities, which is from having a body that's human, which is why we don't have tail on, scales, fangs, or what have you, um, sharp stuff. We just have a body that's human, teeth, all teeth, and teeth for chewing food, and um, vegetables. Vegetables. We should be able to eat vegetables, which is also why our body is also made this way, standing upright like a tree or plant. Seed, tree of life. We don't walk on our heads or hands. There's a reason why our body is designed this way. And nails, which get a little cumbersome when it grows a little too big. So we need to regularly clip them. Yeah. So our human body is a different make, and we keep fighting it. We see animals fighting, and then you become function like animals. You don't have the benefit of being a human. Which is why then life or almighty Inc. is like not functioning as a human. The other side, you got to do some more homework on bench, like an employee on bench, because you don't really know your job. So you got to figure out what you need to, you're grounded, and once you figure out, then you're back. So how then do we maintain health without having to go to the gym? And you also have the gym, but what you do with the weights lifted, why you lift your weights, why you do your stuff makes a difference in how humane you become, or you continue to maintain your muscles to function like an animal. Now, I invite you to bring your attention to the base of your sitting posture, the region between your legs, and to pay attention to the region of your sitting posture, base of your sitting posture, in terms of warmth, softness, and any sense of moisture. So it could be the back of your thighs, it could be your glutes, it could be the region between your legs, but warmth, softness, moisture. Because your body is basically warm-blooded. You're human, you have warm blood moving through your body. Your muscles are soft, not made of scales or what have you, sharp stuff. Soft body. And then you have blood moving through your body. So naturally there is moisture. At least 60% of your body is water, liquid. So pay attention to warmth, softness, moisture. No matter where you pay attention to, you should, well, we are paying attention to the base of our sitting posture, to the region in between our legs. The genitals is where we are maintaining health of today. This morning, and okay, today and in this morning life, when the sun is just different stages of rising, people are just beginning their work, and your physiology would be different in the morning because of these several morning activities. If you have not cleared your bowel, then there would be some tension about your pelvis, urine, stools, and if you've been sleeping long or slept late, then there will be tension about your pelvic area. Yeah, because your body is just waking up to the day, to moving. Yeah. Now, versus evening when you would have worked, moved around the whole day, and then are in different stages of resting. Yeah. So different physiology. Now, morning time. Bring your attention to any sense of warmth, softness, and moisture about the base of your sitting area and in the region between your legs. And notice any sense of relaxation anywhere about your sitting posture. So it could be your thighs, it could be your glutes, it could be the region between your legs, anywhere where you can notice any sense of relaxation while you're paying attention to any sense of warmth, softness, moisture. So also relaxation. Do you feel easy, at ease, relaxed in some way? And then, is it becoming any possible for your bones to relax? When your muscles are a little more relaxed, your bones may tend to relax because your bones may not be holding it up. When your muscles are relaxing, they are like dancing partners, muscles and bones. When one moves, the other moves. When your muscles are relaxed, your bones tend to relax. If you're noticing your weight being a little lesser, that's because your muscles are relaxed, your bones are relaxed, and you will be a little more enlightened, lighter, lightweight, and which will also help for your joints to be less painful. If you're going to be holding your muscles and bones are tight, then it would be painful. When you relax, your muscles and joints are relaxed and less painful, which will also help for your upper body to relax and your breaths to be a little easier to move. Now, bring your attention to your ability to move in any ways. So it could be a natural sway sometimes, or it could be just noticing different kinds of movements in your body, or just your body tending to move because your body is more relaxed. Is there a tendency to look around? Is there a tendency to just shake your hands, legs? Because when you're relaxed, there tends to be natural movement. Otherwise, you're stiff. You have, you're kind of straight-jacketed, either because you're not aware that your body posture has gotten straight-jacketed or somebody is straight-jacketing you. Gaslighting could also be the case. If somebody is straight-jacketing you, your awareness of how your body is lets you know if you're being straight-jacketed. In which case, their health is not good, your health is not good. Somebody's got to become healthy. When you become healthy, they'll also become healthy. Yeah. Because otherwise, you're getting into a chakravyu, a tight spot. They are getting into trouble, you're getting into trouble too. Now, bring your attention to any sense of ease about your skin. If you can feel the air on your skin, if you can feel your muscles relaxing, and you can notice where your skin ends and air begins, which is also where, because you can feel the air on your skin, then you're a little more relaxed and at ease. You can also notice the temperature because it becomes easier because your body is kind of naturally ventilating. It's like when you open the doors and windows, there's natural ventilation. If the kitchen is stuffy, you turn on the exhaust fan or you open the windows. The kitchen is not stuffy because there's natural ventilation. So your ability to be would be there. And then you can think, you can also be, people around you are not just, they may be tense because the doors and windows are closed. Their body's doors and windows are closed. Or their heart is so close, they don't even know they're kind of cookied. Yeah. And all tense and then ready to fire either through the mouth or some violent activity. Because their body is not relaxed. They just don't know that their body is not breathing. Tight room, air ventilation is not happening. And then mornings, the tension starts, mothers, fathers, bosses all start screaming because they haven't attended Nirbeeja Yoga sessions. They haven't seen these lives. Yeah. They don't know that their body gets into this tight spot and then they start firing. Yeah, from their mouth or from their activities, their actions. And their life is not fine. And then they go to regret mode, have to go to churches, temples for confessions, and this whole drama continues. Yeah. A little bit of awareness helps, or just open the doors and windows. If you can't, you breathe healthier naturally. Yeah, there would be some oxygen, some air in the room. Yeah, your reaction versus your response makes a big difference in you being alive, people around you being alive, future generations also being alive. Somebody's got to stop firing or, being at pow pow. Power dynamics. Wow. Wow. Wow is to be uh, worked for. Otherwise, there's power dynamics. Pow, pow, pow. How you're going to stop it at some point? Yeah, you're going to have other than pow. You got to have wow. Yeah. We're all on planet Earth. Other planets does asteroids, meteorites, pow pow. We we have information coming. When there is a right information, right time, then there's another asteroid or a meteorite, and then we have new elements in the periodic table because Almighty dotting sends new information. You have to think about this also. Then you have new elements in the periodic table, and then we have new material for our computers or different technologies, because that's like a for Earth is also life is also a for-profit enterprise. When good things are happening, new materials come, so better things become possible. Yeah, that's also how in an organization there is incentives to appreciate, you continue doing what you're doing like that. Yeah, good things because you're becoming better, people around you are becoming better, future generations are also becoming better. That at least requires for your body to be breathing healthy and naturally, you know. If you can feel your skin, you can feel the air on your skin, you're not tense. Yeah, you can feel your muscles relaxed, you can feel your bones relaxed, you're light enough, but can sit, can also feel your chair, take the support of the chair, take support of the space of the room, and then tensions relax over time. They just do. That's how no tension works. Force begets force, no force begets no force. Over time, we can sit across table and then actually discuss matters. Yeah, otherwise everybody's all loaded and pow pow. Oh my God. Yeah, and nobody's able to feel the heartbeat because if you're going to be all pow pow and tense, you can't feel your heartbeat. You can only feel your heartbeat when you're more relaxed, can feel the air on your skin, and your heart then beats naturally in sync with your lungs, and they're all just, it's a natural regulation system. Your health is all good, not having heart conditions, different diseases. Diseases come from this power dynamics, one or the other. And you can't drink milk because your body is intolerant. Why will you be tolerant? Because you're going through this tense, and then me versus you don't know where your tension is coming from. It could be from some past lifetime. There's nothing happening around you, but you're tense inside. If you notice tension, this is an opportunity. No matter where the problem came from, you can become healthier naturally, and your body breathing naturally. You can also be able to drink milk because your allergies, your intolerances, they are going beyond. You're becoming more tolerant. You have long shelf life, infinite patience, and people around you also becoming better because you are doing Earth-like activities. Other planets, stars, galaxy, people who are tense and going all through these tensions, they don't know what Earth is doing. They are on Earth, but don't know what Earth is doing because they haven't been able to feel relaxed in their own body, because that's when their Earth element is more on. Otherwise, they are more functioning by fire or lots of information, airy headed. Oh, oh my God. You got to have a fine balance between earth, water, fire, air, spirit, space, and also nothing and everything. 8, Ashtanga Yoga. Yeah. Earth, water, fire, air, spirit, space, nothing, everything. Fine balance between all these 8. Some information, yeah. I know it takes a little while getting used to these details, which is why I'm making a course on learn.dynamicstillnesses.com. LEARN dot DYNAMICSTILLNESSES.com. I'm making a course. It's called Nirbeeja Yoga. SHIP, Systematic Health Investment Plan. SHIP, good nice ship, sails on the waters. Yeah. No, and fine balance between left and right, front and back, up and down. Sail, a good nice sail on a pleasant day. How do you have a pleasant day? By having a fine balance between your awareness, internal and external, in such a way that you don't have to go into metaphysics. Just physics is enough. Yeah, good nice physics. And then your metabolism becomes better. So any metaphysics concerns, me versus you, and yeah, how you then relate between, you don't have to go into telepathy and those kinds of stuff. Just physics is enough. And physis, you're on the physis of life. You're on your path. to where you need to be going, because the path is already laid. All you have to do is walk it. And you are going through all of these telepathy and all these kinds of distractions instead of just doing your physis, being on your physis of life. Physics, just physics is enough. Physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology. I mean, many other subjects. You don't have to do these. Meta becomes metabolism. You metabolize all of that stuff. Healthier metabolism helps you go beyond hallucinations. And instead of having a virtual life, you'll be actually having a real life. Yeah. Reality is something which a lot of people have a difficulty with because they are busy having hallucinatory concerns. Virtual life than actually an actual meet person in person, have a humane conversation are beautiful. Yeah. Otherwise, you're more spending more time on screens because you have a virtual life, a life or something like it, if that's called life. Whew. Oh, righty. Procreation, natural, professional creation. Shrishti optimization is what Medicine Intelligence, Mighty, makes available. Original humane intelligence facilitation. In a world where people are functioning with artificial intelligence, talking in terms of consciousness, but don't know what is conscience, because conscience is conglomerate science and don't know how to get all the sciences together in such a way that they are actually complementary to each other without going pow against each other. My God is better than your God. Science is better than philosophy. Win lose, and then the same comparison, competition, and the pow dynamics. Yeah, and people are looking for more power to run their businesses. Yeah. So many resources, never enough. Yeah. Have life or something like that. You don't know what is just enough. All the time, power dynamics, always deficient, not having, not having, not having. And all the time looking at what else to now exploit to then generate power. For your power dynamics. Yeah, we have our instruments and everything working, but we also have pornography and all kinds of hallucinatories, which is then taking more power than what is actually necessary. Yeah, always deficient, because what you're having, what is it used? What you're having is used for what? That determines how much you continue to have sufficiently enough. Otherwise, you're always in a deficient. You have resources, you're using it for something else. Of course, you won't have sufficiently, because life is like you will exhaust it, and then you'll come to your common sense. Don't know this lifetime or another lifetime. Come to your senses now. Yeah, we have Nirbeeja Yoga. We have Medicine Intelligence Spotlights. And your power deficiencies, we would be more self-sufficient. We are on planet Earth, and you have your own civilization, and have and not have, while our bodies have ocean canal. So what you have in life is also determined by how you live life. What are the values you live life? No, how you maintain health. Nirbeeja Yoga or some other method of healthcare. This is in comparison competition. But over time, I discovered every other methods of healthcare is coming to Nirbeeja Yoga only. Or rather, it's like the Sri Chakra. You have dots and dashes all trying to come to the center of the dot. Lord of the Rings, or climbing up to the top of the dot of Mahameru. Everybody's trying to get to Dominion. Okay, right on top. Yeah, हम वहां से आ रहे हैं. आ नहीं रहे. We keep going up and we are maintaining the point on top and point in the bottom at the same time. Yeah, tip top or tip bottom. Change is a constant in life. So how then do you make it? You are cloning yourself? No, you don't know to have the best of both worlds. And also left and right and front and back and up and down and in and out. Yeah. All like that. It's called Ashtanga Yoga. It's called Tesseract. Oh, really nice. Yeah. The benefit from keeping it together and then unifying it all better. It's not just bringing things together, but unifying, making things better. So Ashtanga Yoga. People have been talking about Jimmy, 6 realms. You're talking about 8. Actually, that's more, but okay, let's just say at least 8. Sri Chakra has an 8 triangle circle. Yeah, go, no go. 8 triangle circle. Yeah, this movie Hidden Figures is talking about go, no go. Friendship 7. 8, 8. Krishna, 8th child, 8th circle. But we have Krishna Paksha and Shukla Paksha. Krishna then drove the chariot to fight with cousins, while he also knew Narayanastra. But no, no. So you need to have the light and dark in fine balance. It's called Hatha Yoga. Yeah, Arjuna knew, but he listened to Krishna and went off in battle. That was then. Over time, Arjuna, Krishna having a different thought. Yeah, because Krishna's Dwaraka went underwater and then he had to have another think. Yeah. So, several details. So here we have fine balance between complementary opposites, such that you're actually coming out of the chakra here, but also going beyond the death concerns, where Yama, is talking about what it takes to go beyond death concerns, so that you're having life. Yoga is for Yama, that which then arises from going underground, getting the Sri Chakra ground plate, and then emerging from there without losing your groundedness on ground, which is why we have feet on ground and you're flying off. And you don't even know to walk, want to fly off. Yeah, that's why you have scapula with no wings. Or rather, that's a representation of the wings. So you don't have to go fly off. Your scapula is already doing a work, which only if you're aware of, you have your placement in the whole scheme of things. Your position of your scapula determines your placement in the whole scheme of things. Your balance, trauma that may be held in your scapula, holds you in a not so sufficient space. If this rings a bell, if you'd like to work on at least your scapula and different parts of your body which may have also gotten compensated sometimes, you straighten out your bones, or rather, it takes working with your muscles and different structures, but you come to your placement in the whole scheme of things. So there is on-table therapy work, there's movementless yoga, there's course correction counseling, there is community harmonizing activities. So any of the four necessary yogas may have gone a little off. So this is Nirbeeja Yoga. Nirbeeja Yoga also has these other elements, but then there are these four. Yeah, four weaves in many multiples of um, weaves. Yeah. So inside the dot of the Sri Chakra, there are many, many activities. And how do you keep all of them together? It's also encryption. But how do you encrypt in such a way that things are not getting entangled inside? Instead are maintained, detangled, and fine. Yeah. So that takes a little original humane intelligence facilitation solutions, meristem intelligence, and requires mighty conscience. So different stages of making available procreation, Shukra. If you can pay attention to warmth, softness, moisture about your sitting space, about the region between your legs, your genitals, and instead of getting excited, for example, you're noticing your ability to be and notice how things are, including your own body's responses. So you're not reacting to what is coming to your attention, but your ability to pay attention to warmth, softness, and moisture while noticing movement within your own body. Different kinds of movement. That could also be how your tissues are trying to go beyond held tensions so that your tissues can then be, rather than always being in a potential difference. When there's held energy, for example, there's an attempt to release that. Or if there is all lose, there's an attempt to bring to tension a certain composure. So if you're not feeling anything, you may need to pay attention to details such that your muscles find back their tonicity and not just be flabby. Or if they're too tense, then needs a little relax so that they can come to just be able to just be. Because the credit debit balances are balanced such that they can just be. Yeah, you come to equity, but you come to profitability, profit, just right, just enough. Otherwise, you're maintaining balance. So different tissues need to come to that balance. That's when you are fine balance between be, do, otherwise do, be. Oh my goodness. The soul that has it in them to go up will go up, move towards health. The soul that has it in them to go down choose not so healthy activities, in which case you need to heal more. And when you heal more, then you have you go up, but then there is a cap wherein you come to the surface, and we're going to just fly off from there. Then you don't have what it takes to maintain a fine balance between, towards light and phototropic and gravitropic. So time to contact me. If it's time to contact me on learn.dynamicstillnesses.com, you find details. There is a fast start bundle already made available. So those who invest in them, then it's a bundle of 5 courses. You could choose that. Or Nirbeeja Yoga, it's on a subscription model. I recommend starting with a fast start bundle because I'm still working on the details on Nirbeeja Yoga, the systematic way of it. I'll announce when it's ready. But there are some third lines there. So, okay. Not yet in a way that you can invest in it and then have weekly discussions with me, which is also how you would get better. That is dedicatedly learning Nirbeeja Yoga. So that course makes it available. So you will have to approach to the subscription, to the membership. So on learn.dynamicstillnesses.com, you need to go to the top right corner where there is a tab called membership. You subscribe on that. You will get access to monthly, weekly discussions. So you'll be able to learn this matter better, right? Nirbeeja Yoga. So thank you so much for your kind interest. I hope, okay, when you're doing that, then I'll be able to address your specific concerns, health concerns, different stages of development by which you can come to having original humane intelligence. Facilitation. Come to details of that. There are some details about that. You'll have to at least be a silver lining to your own life. But you'll have to come from the dark to the light self. Yeah. Because otherwise you're fighting life and not quite shining over in the guerrilla warfare stuff. Yeah. Unable to breathe healthy and naturally. And at the affect of life, getting powered, I don't know. Yeah. So to come to the wow side of life, you would have to learn Nirbeeja Yoga. You would have to learn to digest content which may be keeping you in a difficult spot, and people around you also in a difficult spot, and they are still your family members. They just haven't had what it takes to heal. They don't know what it takes to heal. They don't know they need to heal too. A lot of them. So slowly, as you come to find balance. Thank you so much for your kind interest. I hope this has been of value to you. A little difficult conversations. It may have seemed that I've gone off topic, but it's all about procreation. Genitals, Shukra, but your libido versus destrudo. Are you pro-life versus not pro-life? So that fine balance is how we then address also. But this is what's become possible in the morning life. It also depends on who's in the room, who's listening to me. When we are doing more one-to-one or in small groups, then the discussion would be limited more from what's happening in that room, in that space. So you like to be part of those discussions? Let me know on learn.dynamicstillnesses.com. Thank you so much for joining me. Good day.